Now look at this. You guys love inverted charts. Mags actually posted this a couple months ago where he was showing, well, if you're looking at this, you're looking at this trend line, what's going to happen with Bitcoin? Well, it looks like it's going to go down in a big way, except this is inverted. So, if this wasn't inverted, all the bears would come out and say, yeah, that looks right. That looks right. Bitcoin's going to fall in a big way. But then, that's the beauty of inverted charts. Somehow, if you make it look like it's going to go down, it looks more believable because people traditionally pessimistic. I don't know. But, he drew this out in September. And if you look at it now, I mean, it's according to plan. It is starting to go down. And then that next stop of 56,000 will be around the corner. And then eventually we hit our high of 69,000. And then we break through and we continue forward. So his chart is actually pretty darn accurate. But, again, with human psychology, somehow if you do an inverted chart like this, it seems more believable than if you just showed a chart that's going up. Even though I do show a lot of charts going up, but this is, I don't know. People just love to believe charts that show downwards movement. But here's the upwards movement one. This one shows that Bitcoin is on the way. The same climb it did from bottom of like $160 to $20,000 is looking very similar. There are a lot of similarities between our current path and the path back in 2016. Even though Bitcoin was much smaller back then, a lot less money, but we're moving very, very, very closely. So if this is going according to plan, a little bit after the halving event, we will be around that 50, 60, 70,000 mark. And then afterwards, that's when things go real nutty and they go sky high, just like in 2017. And if we do the same kind of trajectory, this doesn't even really plot it out the same way. But if it did, it would be like off the scale. But right now, this is saying, hey, Bitcoin, if it's following the same patterns before, we could hit $320,000. By the end of this cycle, that would be insane. I don't even think it's gonna go that high. But again, with all the FOMO from the institutions, with the spot ETFs, with all the largest asset managers coming on board and countries now adopting Bitcoin, the amount of money out there, even of a small sliver, a few percentage points from bonds and equities and debt and real estate, just a small portion of those asset classes, if they came into Bitcoin, it will drive Bitcoin up. So if you're excited about 35,000 Bitcoin, wait until we have $350,000 Bitcoin, and then wait until we have $1 million Bitcoin. By then, it's going to be hard to DCA. It's going to be really, really, really hard to DCA. Right now, it's still not so hard. It's tough, but not impossible. But when Bitcoin is at 350,000 and you're trying to DCA, it's going to be 10 times harder, right? That's just reality. All right, so Bitcoin is still looking good. It's taking a breather today, but you know what? It's going to recover. It's going to continue upwards. It's going to keep doing what it's doing, which is just ignoring the news, ignoring the FUD, ignoring the volatility, and it's just going to continue to do what it does and keeps on moving forward because the fundamentals state so. The growing fundamentals continue to get stronger, and that has not changed, even versus when we were down to 16,000. Now, outside of Bitcoin, what else is there? I did notice this too. A lot of you guys are holding alts. Obviously, alts have been doing good. Not terrific, but just good. We had some standouts like Solana has been standing out. Cardano, stood out yesterday. A lot of the DEXs like Uniswap, SushiSwap, PancakeSwap, they all had big pumps yesterday. Aave, Compound, they had big pumps. But, they're still nowhere near their all-time high, but we're starting to see some traction, right? So this one is looking at USDT dominance. And whenever that dominance breaks through the EMA 50 line, actually that signals altcoin season, or at least like a mini altcoin season. This cycle, it's a little bit different because a lot of the alts are much stronger than previous periods. But if you look at 2021, this happened a couple of times where alts really gained a lot of strength. Guess what's happening right now? This dominance also broke below the EMA 50, right? So does that mean we're going to have a mini altcoin season? Maybe that's what we're seeing right now. That's why we hold, though. That's why we hold alts. A lot of people are just go all Bitcoin, right? And for most part, that's true. You know, Bitcoin is the one that I can guarantee will be around in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. Can't say the same thing about Solana or Cardano or even Ethereum in 20 years. But we do have these mini and full-blown altcoin seasons. And when they happen, these alts go up like crazy. 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x. We have seen 1000x, 5000x, 10,000x happen in bull runs. They will definitely help carry your portfolio as long as you're holding the right ones. But that's why we hold. It helps you. The best way to look at it is it helps you gain on Bitcoin. It helps you accumulate more Bitcoin without actually buying more Bitcoin. So will we see that in this Santa rally before the end of the year? Maybe we will. I am having a kickoff party in Vegas, December 14th. So if you guys want to come out and meet me and other influencers that are in the IFC, this is the spot to go. And not only that, Crowded Combat is going to be there. Their fighters are going to be there. I'm going to invite others in this space, other influencers, other projects. If you've been to one of my network parties before, it's going to be like that, but even bigger this time around. I have 3 different tickets. If you want to participate, you want to join, please do so. Use the code 25 off. You'll get $25 off. And for people that's been asking for a new NFT, if you go with the VIP program or ticket, you will get airdropped an exclusive I Am George NFT that will be included. Make sure you check it out if you are interested. This is in Vegas. Remember, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. And you get to check out all the fighters, all the other influencers, myself, and all the major projects will be there. It's going to be a good party, a good time. So check it out. Many people think that the Santa rally, the last 2 months of this year, will propel Bitcoin to about 56,000 by year end. Now, that 56,000 makes a lot of sense because it's actually a critical, if you look at history and you look at these critical levels that Bitcoin tends to hit before the halving event, this is one of them. But obviously, if we get a spot Bitcoin ETF, we'll hit it a lot faster. But this definitely could be happening. And this is because of everything that's happening. Because Bitcoin is rallying. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the halving event. And everything else I've been saying have been driving people to Bitcoin. And the fundamentals continue to get better. Right? 56,000. Imagine that. Right? Right now, I think a lot of us all of a sudden got used to this 35,000 level. When, in fact, just last week, we were in the 34, and then just the week before that, we were below, and we were down to 26, right? We're slowly trending up really, really fast. I say slowly and really fast. I know they're contradictory, but that's just how it is in crypto. It seems like you get used to prices really fast. But we have come up really fast. So our next level could be at 37. After 37, I don't even have a line drawn out. It could be 42, 44, right? And we have just begun November. We just entered Pumpvember, right? And we got a full month of that and a full month of December. So can we hit 56,000 by the end of this year? Yes, I say there's a possibility. Is it a great possibility? I don't know. If I had to put a percentage on it, maybe like 30, 40%. You know, I think 56K is within reach, but it's going to take some doing. But who knows?